Hi, I'm Andy Smith. I've been with Algorithm somewhere between Kristen's time and Mimi's time. I'm based here in Central Ohio, and I work a lot in distribution, field service. But if you had to ask me where my heart lies, it's probably in CRM. And that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about today. One of my favorite features in Acumatica CRM is the case management aspect that allows you to log questions, concerns, issues from your customers or internal, and track those to resolution. The improvements that we're going to see in 2024 are one, with case management are around time commitments and closure notes. So let me show you exactly what that means. I'm going to hop over to my local Acumatica, and I'm starting right here on the case class screen because, as with a lot of things in Acumatica, cases have classes, meaning we can group them into different areas. In this case, I'm looking at my billing class. So these are issues or questions that, let's say, customers have about invoices. And I'm going to go right to this new commitments tab and see what they've put here. So down here at the bottom, which I see is for each severity of case, so that's a field on the case screen, so indicating how important it is, I can set response times or targets for initial response, ongoing response, and final resolution. So what that should let me do is real time keep track of how I'm doing in terms of answering my customers' questions, but then in the long term, track metrics around how we're doing as an organization. The other field that's on this screen is this stop counting time, because the system wants to know, well, what counts as you're done? How do we know when you know that you did well? So I set that to if the case solution is provided in an activity. And related to that, if I come back to my details tab, there's a new checkbox here that says track solutions in activities. And we'll see exactly what that means here in just a minute. So that's the setup. Now let's go look at a case that I have logged here in my system. So you can see, again, this is a billing question. It came in from David, and it was logged early this morning. Down here in this new field, you can see that it's telling me as the support tech or on a dashboard or in reporting when the initial response is due for that, and then when the resolution is due. So you can see I've got a short amount of time to do the initial response, and then about a day or so to do the final resolution. So I'm Maxwell Baker. This thing has been assigned to me. I come down and look at the details. David called asking about the freight and tax on this invoice. So as a support tech or a customer service rep, I'm going to come over to my activities tab. And you can see I've already sent David an email indicating that I'm going to be working on this for him, and I'll be in touch soon with a resolution. So let's say that I research it and then I call David. So I'm going to launch a new activity called a phone call. And I'll just fill this out briefly to say that I called David. And then down here, I'll say what happened. Never mind my spelling. But because I was able to successfully resolve this with David on that phone call, here is that checkbox that I talked about on the case class a minute ago. And I'm going to indicate that I did provide a solution to this case. If it was an ongoing thing, I just wouldn't check the box and would continue the conversation. But for now, for this example, I'll say, yes, I answered his question. So I save and close that, and it's going to do some thinking behind the scenes. And you can see that the resolution due field here is blanked out because I told the system that I logged a resolution for that. Further, if I come over here to the CRM info tab, there are lots of fields here. So first outgoing, last activity, all those things that we can report metrics off of. And it shows me the activity where I provided that solution, again, for backtracking purposes. So that's great. However, we also have this new tab here called closure notes. So this is something that's near and dear to our hearts here at Algorithm because we log support cases in Acumatica. And we're going to really enjoy this because it gives us a place to go and log the final notes around a case so that later on when this customer or another customer maybe has a similar issue, it's fairly easy for us to do a search and find out what the answer to that question is without having to course back through a number of transactions. So that's nice as well. So I'm going to go ahead and close my case. It's again giving me the solution provided in, so I can adjust that if needed. It's giving me the closure notes. I can adjust those if needed. And then I click OK, and I'm done. So again, fairly easy. It's a relatively small change in the grand scheme of case management, but makes it a lot easier for us as an organization to see how we're doing and to backtrack and find the answers to common questions.